You have hip osteoarthritis and have already accepted your fate of living with pain and painkillers or even having to undergo surgery? Just stay tuned. I'll show you which stretching and strengthening exercises you can do to help yourself. And finally, as a little highlight, I'll show you how you can still do a lot for your hip while taking off. So that you can understand a little why these 4 exercises that we are about to do now help. Look, you have 4 major muscle groups. Front hip flexor, back buttocks, here the outer side of the thighs, and here the adductors on the inner side. And we stretch them out, and then your chances of developing hip osteoarthritis at all decrease completely. Ina is back. Ina is doing the exercise while I guide her, and you can join in right away. Take the opportunity to participate in these exercises. We'll start with the left leg. If you have problems with your right leg, then just do it on the other side. Please sit comfortably first, like Ina is sitting there. Preferably bring both legs forward, and now bend your left knee and bring your lower leg next to you parallel to the edge of the mat. Bend a little to the right and then take your foot back exactly. And now try to get your ankle as close to the ground as possible. You may still have a small distance, but that will gradually decrease over time. Then it will pull into the arch of the foot. That is then an additional stretch, and then you go as close as possible with your buttocks. It may be that your buttocks don't reach that far yet. Maybe it only goes so far that you still have distance. Then you would practice at that angle, but Ina can reach. That's why she can do it. And now, very, very important to note, now your torso must go back with the pelvis. And to ensure that, you best tighten, wrong word, you focus on the belly button and pull the belly button back. And when you pull back your belly button, there is a good chance that your pelvis will move backwards. Because the one muscle, which is very, very important here, goes from the thigh over the hip joint to the pelvis, and if you stay sitting upright, then it is not stretched, and it has to be included in the stretch. And you can tell that by pulling back the belly button, you get a really strong pull in the middle of the thigh, and that really frees up the hip. We stay in there now and breathe ourselves in. Always stay within the range that you can still tolerate well. How are you, Ina?
Straight tolerable.
Straight to endure is just right. Just stay, breathe nicely, and you can try to go a little further into the stretch with each exhale. If you haven't touched your heel with your buttocks yet, then when you continue stretching, you would first move your buttocks further towards your foot. If you are sitting on your buttocks, then you can start to gradually lean back with your torso. But don't have any crisis at all if you only get there. Ina is stretched there, but even here you can already get a big pull, so don't be confused by that. Take it more as a horizon. If you practice for a while, then you can do it just as well as Ina, who also does the exercises regularly. And now, we have been doing about a minute now, maybe a little longer. Now let's bring in the strength training. That means, Ina, now concentrate well. You are trying to stretch your leg without moving. And then, of course, your thigh tightens, but you try to keep the leg completely still, not moving, and then relax again. And then you might notice that you can go a little further back. And then we do it again. The foot wants to go into the ground. Exactly, your face reveals tension. That's good. Work hard. Because in the area of the legs, you can really give full power, relax again, and go a little further in. And then again, the foot wants to go into the mat, wants to go in properly tight, and then let go again. Go further in again. That was the first exercise. And now it's about the buttocks. It plays a very, very important role in hip osteoarthritis because it is often tense. Sit down like Ina on a chair and directly cross your left leg over the right. But it may be that it doesn't work. You don't even get up there. Ina, go down again, please. Now stretch your right leg and simply place your left foot down there. It is possible that you already feel stretching here. If that's the case, then that's your practice position. Maybe it goes a little further, maybe you'll make it here. Then you would practice here. And if you come to your knee but can't go any further, then you practice there. Maybe you can bend the leg, but when you bend the leg, the knee goes higher and then the pre-stretching becomes even greater. Also now find your position exactly how far you can go. You don't have to be as far as Ina, it's not important at all. The main thing is that you practice in the area where you feel the tension. And then you take the right hand to the right ankle, the left hand to the left knee. And this is now the starting position. Or deeper, as I said. And now it's important that you arch your back. Often you shouldn't make a hollow back, but in this position you make a hollow back because that ensures that your torso is nicely upright. And in this position you now go, mind you, just like before, with the belly button forward. Why? When I say bend over, most people round their back. But you should stay straight so that the stretch goes directly to the buttocks, because there you want to create freedom so that your hip is relieved. And that's why you're now only going forward with your belly button. And then you feel, Ina, directly the pressure on your buttocks.
Yes.
And stay like that. Now you go as far forward as you can still tolerate well. Bend, but do not arch your back. Try to keep the back completely rigidly connected to the pelvis. And then you have the greatest stretch in the buttocks and have the best effectiveness for this exercise. Always remember, Ina, the lower back wants to go forward, so does the belly button, not the upper one. The upper one doesn't matter at all. Yes. There you only avoid the stretching. Yes, many people think that if they can bend over like that, it is a good exercise. But there the stretching is completely in the wrong place. Not where it belongs, so you have this relief of the hip. Always breathe nicely, deep in, deep out. Use the exhaling nicely, feel good. Feeling comfortable is important during these exercises. And the stretching pain has to be so small, I would say, that it's just bearable without having to endure anything. Yes, just barely tolerable. And now we're also doing strength training here. Now you actively press with your left foot, with your left lower leg against your right knee. Press firmly. Ina, steer as if your left leg wants to push the right leg into the ground on its own strength. Relax again and stay in the hollow back, moving a little forward again. Yes, through this strength training you gain strength in these angles, which is incredibly important, and at the same time you make yourself more flexible. And again you press the left foot onto the right leg, relax, and go a little further forward. How intense is it now, right on the border?
Good, at the border, yes.
Okay, don't overdo it, yes. If you only have to look tense and can no longer smile, then you are too high, and slowly out again. Now we have the hip much more free from the front and much more free from the back. Now we're talking about the inside of the thighs, the leg adductor. They also have a great influence on the fact that the hip is heavily stressed and therefore you have to be nicely flexible. Please go like Ina, preferably in front of a chair or a table or a windowsill so that you can stabilize yourself a little. And spread your feet apart until you feel a clear tension here on the inside of your thighs. Can reach down to the knees, can that be noticeable? And then you run with your heels outwards. Weight a little forward, heels outwards, weight a little back, and the toes outwards. And you both do that, Ina too and you too at home, until you realize that's enough. Is it long enough for you, Ina? Okay. And attention now, stay upright. Please do not bend forward. This is a compensatory movement, because if the hip flexor is short enough, it is also involved in this exercise. And that's good because then you practice right at the bottleneck that really puts so much strain on the hip. So don't lean forward, always stay straight and upright. Yes, breathe in deeply. What I would be interested in is, do you already have a hip problem? Are you already thinking about surgery? Then write that in the comments, and later also whether the pain improves. And keep going further in. Okay? And now we start with the strength training. Strength training now means pressing both feet together as if you wanted to pull them together under you. Press firmly, and then you notice here the whole area tightens up. Press firmly and release again. And now take a look. Maybe it can go a little further apart. You at home too. And again, press firmly, press even harder, press even harder. And relax again. A little further in. Can you go a little further, Ina? Keep in mind, don't lean forward. The body wants to go forward to avoid stretching, right? Stay nice and straight. Okay, and slowly out again. And if you want more exercises against hip osteoarthritis, then click here. Go out slowly, go out slowly. Okay, that was the third exercise. So, and now we're going to talk about the last exercise, the outer side of the leg. Take a chair like Ina, touch the backrest or a table with your right hand, something comparable, and now place your left foot behind the right one to the right. Now you already get a slight pre-stretch here, and you do the rest by bending your torso to the right and pushing your pelvis to the left. Do you already feel the tension here, Ina? Do you feel it at home too? Yes? So stand and keep looking now, so that the stretching occurs here on the left side of the pelvis. And those are massive muscle fibers which are often really tight. Therefore, take a little time, breathe in, smile above all, because smiling relaxes the muscles through the brain, which helps with stretching. That's why you should always smile while stretching. Not showing teeth in a forced and grinning way, but really trying to smile relaxed and friendly. Because then the body automatically relaxes a little more, okay? A little bit more, we give a little bit more time. And you notice how it increases because you hold on to your foot and notice through the change in angle that your arms feel different. And you'll see what's happening there. Okay, and now comes the strength training. That's not quite easy, try to do it. Only if it works. If it doesn't work, you do it without strength training. That is still much better than doing the exercise. Ina, focus on the left foot and you too. Now the left foot wants to go to the left. Try to control it, tense it up without the chair slipping. Beautifully to the left away. And then you realize there is tension here. And then you relax again and go a little further out. And again, you tense up the left foot. You tense up the left foot, and relax and continue into the stretch. And again, you tense up your left foot, relax and continue into the stretch. Look forward to the last exercise, where you can do something to benefit your hips without any time loss while resting passively. And loosen further into the stretch. And that was exercise number 4. So, look, and this is basically the secret exercise, yes, in quotation marks, of course, because most people think that our back saver only does something against the back. But that is only half the truth. That is naturally wonderful for the back because the hip flexors are stretched. But the hip flexors also play a huge role in hip osteoarthritis, and that's why it's a wonderful opportunity. I always do it in the evening myself because it doesn't take any additional time. You can already relax comfortably and sleep much better because everything is nicely relaxed. Ina, how does that feel?
Relaxed?
Relaxing. Okay, if you want to do more exercises against knee osteoarthritis, this muscle also has something to do with it, which we stretched earlier, then please click here. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you should definitely do it. Don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any videos with Ina and me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.